Good morning, student. Now, today we are going to start actually our chapter. Whatever the basic theory that we had seen in the first period, now today we are going to talk about one-dimensional motion. So let's start. One-dimensional motion of body. Now when a body moves in a straight line path, then we can say the body is in one-dimensional motion. A body moving in straight line then motion of body is known as one-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion. Right here we find that the body is moving in a straight line, not going in a curvilinear path. So we can say that the body is moving in a straight line path and in a single direction. In a one direction, okay, so we can say the motion of such a body as a one-dimensional motion, right? But when body goes in a curvilinear path, we find that turns on the road, and if the body is moving according to that curvilinear path, then we can say the motion of such a body is two-dimensional. So second is two-dimensional. It is not a part of our syllabus, but we should know what is two-dimensional. Two-dimensional motion. When body moves in curvilinear path, then motion of a body is known as two-dimensional motion. Two-dimensional motion. Okay. So let's see here. Now in the one-dimensional, how can we represent this one-dimensional motion of the body according to XY axis? Say this as X axis, this as a Y axis. Then we can represent it graphically by drawing a line parallel to the x-axis, which represents that the body starts from this position and reaches to the destination in a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. Such type of graph is a one-dimensional graph. But when a body is moving in a curvilinear path, then we can show it by xy axis. Here the body is moving in a curved line, so two dimensions are there. Two dimension means x as well as y. Over here you can see that only the x is a direction, but over here you can see that it goes up, means y direction, then comes to x axis direction, then again goes up, shows a y direction. So here we find the two-dimensional motion of the body, and we can represent it on the plot like this. But the body when moves in a space, then we can say this as a three-dimensional motion. And when the body is moving, in a space, right? Then motion gained by it is known as three-dimensional motion. Okay. So here we can say the three axes are there: x-axis, y-axis, as well as z-axis. And in that case we find the body moves in any direction, which shows us it goes along the x-axis, along the y-axis, and then z-axis also, right? X-axis, y-axis, and then again comes to z-axis also. So here we find the 3 dimensions in the space, because there is no actual path as a road on the earth. So that body can move along the x-axis, along the y-axis, or along the z-axis. So such type of motion gained by the body which is moving in a space is known as 3-dimensional motion. Our topic which is related to chapter is 1-dimensional motion of the body, and it is very clear that when a body moves in a rectilinear path, when a body moves in a straight line path, then motion gained by such a body is known as 1-dimensional motion. For example, if we say a cyclist is moving, okay, when a cyclist is moving in a straight line and covers some distances, say x, in a time interval, say t. So I say here time interval t and distance covered by the bicycle, say x, in a 0 second, or I say 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, and 4 second, and say 5 second. Distance covered is say 5 meter, 15 meter, 30 meter, 70 meter, and say 100 meter. Then here what we find, the motion of the body initially is over here, then reaches here, reaches here, reaches here, means the position of the body changes according to the time, but its motion is in straight line. So such type of motion of the body we can say a 1-dimensional motion of the body. Body goes in a one direction. Now let's see, next point is distance and displacement. Let's talk about distance and displacement. Now we know that this distance is a scalar quantity. When I taught you in first chapter that it goes under the category of scalar, in this chapter only, in the first video, and displacement is a vector quantity. We know that it has a requirement of only magnitude, while displacement needs magnitude as well as direction. Both the things it requires. Then and only then we can say the quantity is a vector one. Now, what is the main things or differences between these two physical quantities? Let's say that a body is going from a position A and reaches to the final position B. Say that the initial position of the body is A and it traces the path as shown in the diagram and reaches to its final destination at the position, say B. Now, what is then the distance is? Distance is nothing but, I can say here, I write the definition. Distance means actual path followed or traced by body is known as distance. Okay, so actual path traced by the body is known as distance. Okay, it is represented by capital S. Its SI unit is meter. CGS unit is centimeter, right? So this you keep in mind related to distance. Now this is the actual path. When you are going to the school, at that time you started from your house, and it is not for everyone that they are tracing a straight line path only. They have to go in a zigzag way also. One lane you are passing, crossing the second, then third, rather you are moving in a curvilinear path also. So in that case, what the body do? Body traces the path, actual path, to reach to its destination. Okay, means it started from its initial position, and whatever the actual path or road, then it reaches, followed by it, and then it reaches to its final destination. You are coming to the school in such a way only, right? So that is nothing but a distance covered by the body. Now what is displacement then? The displacement is nothing but the actual distance. Okay, sorry, actual distance is actual path traced by the body is a distance, but the displacement is the shortest distance covered by the body. Shortest distance. So the definition for displacement I can write: shortest distance covered by body is known as displacement, right? Now here what we find, the distance between the initial position of the body and the final destination of the body, means it is the shortest distance. If you forget about the lanes which you are crossing while coming to the school, and actual path if you leave, then the shortest distance of the school from your house, if you calculate, then that shortest distance is known as the displacement of the body. I can give a very simple example to explain this distance and the displacement. Let me first explain you about the displacement. This is the definition that I gave over here, how to represent the displacement. Displacement can be represented by S arrow headed, because it is a vector quantity, it needs a direction. So if we talk about the SI unit, then the SI unit of the displacement is also meter, and CGS unit of the displacement is same as the distance, which is centimeter, right? So SI unit and CGS unit of both are same, but the difference is that when the body traces the actual path to reach its destination from its initial point, then we can say the distance covered by body. And when we are taking a shorter distance of a body starting from its initial to reach final, then we can say it as a displacement. So one as a scalar quantity and displacement as a vector quantity. Let's say an example: if a body starts moving from the position A, it goes in a circular manner and again comes back to the original position, then the distance covered by body, distance covered is nothing but 2 pi r, which is nothing but a circumference of the circle. Total round is covered by the body or traced by the body. So the circumference of the circle is nothing but a distance covered by the body. But body started from A and reaches to A again, means it comes to its original position, initial position. Then in this case we can say the displacement of the body is zero. Displacement of the body is zero because it comes again to its original position. Okay, I am here. If I start walking, then say 5 meter is covered, and again when come back to it, same position, then 5 plus 5, 10 meter distance is covered by me. But I came back to my original position. So the displacement, about the displacement if we talk, then the displacement of my body is zero because I come back to to my original position. So whenever the body comes to its original position again, then we can say that the displacement is zero. This is the simple difference between the distance and the displacement. Next is representation of the displacement, that I told you that we can represent this displacement by arrowhead on S, because it needs not only the magnitude but it needs a direction also. Body displaces from one place to another place, but in which direction it goes, that is important. So that is also needed. Okay, so we can say that displacement is a vector one and we can represent it by arrow overhead. Next is distinction between the displacement and the distance. Distinction means the differences we are going to see. Okay, in your book, theoretically also in the statement form it is given, as well as the differentiating table between the distance and displacement is also given. Okay, so we are going to study about the table, right? So question is asked, state any two differences between the distance and the displacement. Okay, let's see. Distance and displacement. Let's see the first difference of a distance. Distance, as I told you the definition, same definition you can write over here, no problem. So it is actual path covered by body. Actual path covered by body. And this is shortest distance. Shortest distance covered by body. Second thing, I told you that this distance is a scalar and quantity, and this displacement is a vector quantity. This is the second difference. Let's see third. Body moves along the same path or it depends on the path followed. Okay, so I can say it depends on path followed by body. But this displacement doesn't depend on path followed by body. Okay. Next differentiation, this distance, it is always positive, but this displacement may be positive, negative or zero. As I gave an example that if the body is moving in a circular path, then it reaches to its original point and we can say the zero displacement. Okay, this can be more, this distance can be more or equal to displacement. डिस्प्लेसमेंट से ज्यादा भी हो सकता है या तो इक्वल हो सकता है, बट दिस डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज it is lesser or equal to distance. Okay, lesser or equal to the distance. How equal? If I say the body moves in a straight line A to B, the distance is same. Okay, distance is say S, then the displacement is same, S bar, only direction is there. Okay, in which direction the body moves. Okay, 6. Even if displacement is 0, distance never be 0. Distance कभी 0 नहीं रहेगा. Okay, but in this case displacement may be 0. Okay, displacement may be 0. Okay, because when it reaches to its original position again, then we can say it is 0, but distance is not 0, but distance is not 0. Okay. Even if displacement is 0, distance never be 0. Displacement may be 0, but distance is not 0. So these are the differentiating points. Those you have to keep in mind. Remaining topic we will see in our next period. Thank you.